Everybody turned into a bobblehead listening to our new theme music intro. I know, look at my hair. My hair today has been styled by my 12-year-old neighbor. She wanted to fix my hair like hers is. So we're twinsies. So don't y'all say nothing, okay? It's off my neck. I'm happy. I don't know. It's something different. But I just wanted to give her shouts. Hey, Trina. Good job. So, in case you wandered in, this is our weekly relationship advice show. People send in their questions in advance. I read the questions aloud, and then I give my witty and sometimes snarky and sometimes condemning analysis of the behaviors and attitudes that the letter writer has exhibited. So just because you write in here, and even if you ask me to be kind, that doesn't mean it's going to happen. Sometimes I'm in a good mood. Today is actually one of those days. So I probably won't be as rough as I would normally. The only problem is it's hot as Hades in here. I actually have my bare feet on I have this ice thing that I put on my shoulder. I have my feet on it to help cool me off. It's hot in here. And I can't open the windows because then it's too much traffic noise comes in. It's bad enough as it is. So I just have to suffer. But I'm looking at this and I see we have 27 advice questions with a long note from Miss Candace. So let me read it. It says, Deb, I wanted you to know I found some questions buried in the general email box from 3 years ago. I put a few of them in and notified the letter writer. That's why you have two more than usual. The dates were from before we set up the email filters for DNN and advice. And the reason I recall that we did the show submissions and advice letters kept getting mixed in with your million other emails. And she put a little mad face emoji in there. So whatever. I mean, what you want me to do? You should have said something earlier. Anyway, well, to those poor people whose letters were ignored for 3 years, I hope they still use those email accounts so they can get the notice. This is sad. Well, anyway, let's get started since we're going to be here forever. Question number one. This is a female in the 28 to 34 age group. She's from Jacksonville, Florida. I'm almost 30 and I can't get past the 5 to 7 date point with people. I need help figuring out how to change that. I've been single for 4 to 5 years now and have dated quite a few men in that time. I seem to have developed a pattern. I date emotionally, what she put, well, anyway, she meant emotionally unavailable. She put unemotionally unavailable, who basically ditch me once we sleep together a handful of times. I'm not really sure how to break this pattern as they don't really initially seem emotionally unavailable. I've dated plenty of people I'm not interested in too. It's not what that I get attached to easily. I also think I date well within my league, although I dislike that phrase. I've taken breaks in dating, but every time I return, the same thing happens. I don't really know what to do or prevent it from happening, bar setting a rule that I don't sleep with someone for 2 months, which seems incredibly long to me. I think woohoo compatibility is important. Usually I sleep with someone on the third or fourth date if it seems right. I do wonder if there's some way I'm behaving that puts them off, but I can't figure out what it is at all. I don't think I'm bad in bed, as in, I'm always extremely complimentary about that kind of thing. I guess I just need to keep putting myself out there, and it's just a numbers game until I find someone. And she put a bunch of question marks. Well, I'm gonna say this. You know that phrase? The definition of insanity is keep doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result. Now, you don't like that idea of not sleeping with somebody for 2 months, but maybe you should try that. Because I know a lot of guys have this third date expectation. I'm like, you can sleep. I don't care what you say. I'm not going to do that. I have to know you for a long time. And, I don't think you really have anything to lose because it seems like you're rushing into this with all these expectations. I'm looking at, you picking these emotionally unavailable men. Well, how are you discovering that? Why can't you figure that out before you sleep with them? What are you doing as part of your dating vetting process so you can make sure that the guy is mostly available to you? I mean, what are you doing? That would have been interesting for you to add in here. What kind of things you're questions you're asking, time you're spending, what kind of dates you guys go on, what conversations are you having with these men? Are you seeing them in different environments? Are you not just yours, but theirs too, around friends, around their relatives? I mean, what are you doing that you are doing different later after you took your break that you weren't already doing before? That's what I'm not saying you say that you did anything different. And that's why I use that insanity quote, because you have to try something different. I suggest you take a look. I have a really detailed video on vetting here. Just go to the channel search feature and type in vetting. It should pop right up, and then go back to the channel search feature and you look for the videos with emotionally unavailable in the title and study those as well. Take notes, get your mind right, and then go back out there. And you'll be better equipped to screen these guys out before you get yourself involved with them physically, which puts you at a great risk for not only a broken heart, but something that you can't get rid of, and you know what I'm talking about. So be very careful with this. I wouldn't be rushing into this third or fourth date thing, especially when you see it's not working for you. Why do you keep doing it? You keep doing it over and over. So that's my advice to you, young lady. You're 30 years old. It's time for you to wise up and handle yourself better. Question number 2. This is a young lady in the 22 to 27 age group. She's from Spokane, Washington. So I recently started talking to a guy and I decided to take him to a party with me. I don't usually bring guests to gatherings, and it was pretty clear that we came together as I introduced him to everybody. But a female friend of mine saw us park and come in together. Well, the entire night, this aforementioned female friend kept talking to the guy, brought to the point that I was barely able to talk to him. And then before she left, she asked for his number in front of everyone. It was awkward because everyone saw it happening. I was just starting to talk to this guy, so it's not like I have the right to be possessive or anything, or nor do I feel that way. But I just feel like I wouldn't have done that to any of my girlfriends. Am I weird to think it was kind of a snaky behavior for her to be all over him like that? I have nothing against the guy giving his number out. I mean, I would have done the same since it would have been awkward not to, but I can't help but to see my friend in a different light. Okay, so what is your question? You all over the place. Let me just tell you this. You should have punched her in the face. That's what you should have done, because that wasn't meant to be. That was total diss of you. That's what that was. That was designed to get at you and let you know I can take your man. That was about you. It wasn't about him. I don't know. You didn't mention what kind of history did you two have, and you keep referring to her as a friend, but she's not your friend. Friends don't treat each other with such disrespect and disregard. Now, my question is, and what you did not include in here, so she asked him for his number. Did he give it to her? That would have been the most important part right there. Did he say okay and give it to her, or did he say no, thank you? I've talked to you enough. I'm done talking to you. See, if he was a cool dude, he would have said something like that. Giving him the excuse saying, well, it would have been awkward. Who gives a shit about the awkwardness? What he's supposed to do is clown with her. It's like, oh, so you just want to occupy my time more? Then you saw that I came with somebody else and you've been in my face the whole night. I'm not trying to be with you. I don't want you to call me. I'm not giving you my number. Now, my thing is whether he was interested in you or not. Of course, that's yet to be seen. But a guy who knows and who conducts himself like a gentleman and respects people would never have gone for that. So that's something that would have been vital for you to include. You didn't include it. But I'm just saying, from my perspective, he knows he went to the party with you. He knows y'all starting to talk and figuring out what's going to go on between you two and stuff. He's supposed to not veer left and do that, like especially not right in your face in front of all those people. So ultimately they both disrespected you. But since she's the one who's known you and your friend and stuff, I fault her in this particular instance with the most problem, because a lot of times in a situation like that, the guys, just like what you said, you guys just started really talking, and he doesn't know what he's supposed to do because you're not really his girlfriend yet. You know what I mean? It's a weird position to be in. However, like I said, a dude with any sense would have understood what was going on in the game that she was trying to run and the way she was trying to hurt you, and he wouldn't have participated in it. So either he's extremely naive and silly and doesn't recognize when bullshit's going down, or he is interested in her and he gave her his number because he was wanting to talk to her instead of you. So it's one of those two things. You would know better than me though. But I tell you, one of my female friends doing some stuff like that, we would have had words and they wouldn't have been nice words. I would have turned that party out. That's all about disrespecting you. Question number 3. This is a female in the 22 to 27 age group from Springfield, Missouri. So I recently graduated from college and I moved out of my town, at my college town, I'm sorry. I'm living at my parents' house right now and I'm starting a full-time job this coming Monday. I'll be making $50,000 a year. Not bad for a fresh out of college. However, I've been debating on moving out for several reasons, mostly a lack of independence in a dating life. For example, throughout the day, my mom wants to know all my whereabouts, what I'm doing, and who I'm with, and it becomes overbearing at times. Also, I'm dating a guy right now, and she's been upset with him staying here for more than a few hours. My best friend, who's also in my area for work, pitched a great opportunity for a housing arrangement, $1,000 a month for a room, but I live in one of the most expensive cities in the nation, so it's a reasonable price. It's a guest house that we'd have to ourselves, our own rooms, and a shared bathroom and kitchen. And we've done temporary living situations together before when we travel, so we know each other well and we know and respect our boundaries. It'll allow me for independence and self-growth. The reason why I'm staying home, though, is to save. My checking account is at $100 right now, though I have a good amount of money in saving that would go for a September rent. My worry is that I won't have enough money to travel or stash into my Roth IRA if I move out. I could make it work with budgeting, but I'm not sure how it'll go. What do you think is the best decision to make? You fresh out of college and you in your 20s, get the hell out your mama's house. You see she wants to treat you like a child. You say it's irritating, you can't even have a love life. Those are adult things that you want to do, and you sitting up there worrying about an IRA at 22 or whatever age. What did you say you were? I'm sorry, I forgot. Well, you don't say. You're just in the 22 to 27 age group. So, 22, 23, whatever, you young. And you sitting up there already worrying about a retirement. You don't worry about a retirement right now. At 25, when you got solid in your career, your company will have a retirement program. You can invest in that and you can start worrying about that at age 25. That's soon enough. Also, when you're out of the house, you can do side hustles. You can do things like they have now that things are opening back up. They have where you can work a night serving at parties as a waiter. Used to make, I don't know, we used to make like $50 an hour. That was in the 90s. $50 for the night. And it was like 2 or 3 hours at the most. And you get walk away with 50, $60 in cash. So, you hook up with a couple of catering companies, you can do that. That will supplement your income. If you like little kids, you can babysit. That will supplement your income. If you like kids, and you're smart, you can tutor. That will supplement your income. So you have all kind of options here to make extra money if you're so worried about your ends meeting and not having enough money to travel. You're worried about silly things. You're worried about future things. You worry about right now, which is starting your life and your independence. Get out of your mother's house, move in with your girlfriend, and make the magic happen. Start being an adult, okay? You keep living with your mother, she's going to keep on interfering and treating you like a child. You can see that that's not going to work. Don't mess around and miss out on this opportunity where she rents the room to somebody else and then you stuck there. Don't do it. Get out now while the getting's good and you have a good opportunity and you already know and like your possible roommate. Question number 4, female 22 to 27. It says no location provided. Oh, this is probably one of the old letters. Because that was before I changed the form and added. Yeah, I didn't have locations at first. Okay, here we go. Deb, I recently had, okay, this kid is probably 5. I recently had a positive pregnancy test and I'm not ready to be a mother. Oh, okay, no, this is new. No location provided probably for anonymous reasons. I'm only 22. My boyfriend is 30, but he demands that I keep the baby. I have my go bag packed and I will be leaving tonight. Looking for advice to keep off the radar until I get to a safe place. Please critique my plan and give any advice you can think of. Okay, y'all might need to help me think on this one. It's not illegal to travel across state lines yet to have this done. So I'm making my break for it now, and I'm going to start a new life. Friends have already told me to leave my debit card at home. I emptied my account and put the money on a prepaid Visa. I kept $20 in cash and got a cheap prepaid phone from Walmart. Good. I'm going to take Amtrak as I have a small dog, and I found that they don't check IDs, just your ticket. My friends chipped in and sent me enough for the ticket, and I booked it with my middle name first, misspelling of my first name, and my mother's maiden name as my last. Good. He probably, unless he really knows you well, he probably wouldn't know that. As far as hotels on my layovers, I have to stop every 7 hours when traveling with a pet. I'm just going to use the virtual Cash App card I made yesterday, as he can't track that from what I'm told. Friends are actively trying to make sure I have enough money, but worst case, I'll just stay in the station if it's open or go to a 24-hour coffee shop or something. That's all I can figure right now. The trip is going to take about 4 days. Once I get to the safe state, I'm going to immediately go to Planned Parenthood and then crash on a friend's couch while I get back on my feet. I need all the advice I can get. I'm scared to effing death right now. Wow, you know what I have to say? For you to be so young, yeah, 22 to 27 age group, I see why you didn't put a location. You have a lot of courage. You have a lot of determination, and you have a great support system. Your friends and whoever else is chipping in and wants you to go away from this dude, safe and sound someplace else, are all wonderful, wonderful people. So got to give them their props. Um, I think stay off of social media. Don't post any pictures, and make sure you remind your friends not to. Do not contact your mother. Wait, do everything after you take care of your business. Okay? Because then it'll be too late for him to try to force that on you. You have the prepaid phone. You could get a message to your friends, and then or your friend can do a three-way with you on the phone with your mother if you want to get in touch with her. But you don't directly call her. You don't directly email her. You don't give her any way to contact you, because if he puts pressure on her, then he's gonna, she may give him the number. I would think that might be possible. Really, I would say just drop contact with her until after you take care of your business, and maybe wait a month or two or three or something till you're all back on your feet. But other than that, it sounds like you got everything. You did a good escape plan. Good for you. How you gonna get a job? What you gonna do about money? Think about that's your next thought. Got to think of a plan about that. What kind of job you're gonna get? What kind of employment? You're gonna work in a house as a nanny or something. What you gonna do? So think about that too. Question number 5, female in the 28 to 34 age group. She's African American and she's from Florida. Hey Deb, I am 28 years old and I'm trying to live my life to the fullest. I have a lot going for me, but I have always felt the only thing missing was a relationship. At times, this makes me feel really behind my peers, but I am trying to live a fulfilling life without the expectations of finding a husband one day. My question to you is this. If you woke up tomorrow and were 28 again, oh my God, the fool that I would be. What would you do to find fulfillment? How would you view men and relationships? What role, if any, would they have in your life? None. That's the good thing about wisdom. They say experience and stuff is wasted. I mean, young people don't have any. So by the time you get some, you're too old to really put it to good use. So I will share with you what I would do. If I had to do it all over again, you know what I do? I mean, I love my husband and stuff, don't get me wrong. But you know what I really would have loved more? Not being married. He was great, don't get me wrong. But you asked me what I would do different, I wouldn't get married. I would have gotten my passport in motion and been gone. That's what I would have done. And never come back. And then been just like gone everywhere, been a vagabond, just go where I want to go. And the thing about it, if you have good computer skills, You know how to do all, I type almost 100 words a minute, at least I used to pre-stroke. And, all the softwares and graphic design software and all that stuff. So I could have worked anywhere in this world, anywhere, anywhere. But when you're young, you don't think like that. But you asking me in retrospect what I would do, that's what I would do. And I might date somebody here and there, lightweight, something like that, have a little hoo-ha moments. But do you think I would be getting married or settling down or having a quote boyfriend or somebody to like try to lock me down, a fiance or something? Nope, absolutely not. Not until I was 35 or 40 or something that I might have thought about it. But I just feel like there's so much out there that I did not avail myself of because I was too young and too scared. Too scared of the unknown. The me that I am now would have been like, psh, or actually the me that I was 5 or 10 years after that would have been like gone. But by then I had a kid, and just my life was a little too different to do that. But that's what I would have done differently. All through my 20s, I would not have paid men no mind at all. Because it's one thing I learned, and I wish I had listened to my grandmother, because she used to say that, you don't have to worry about them. They ain't going nowhere. And, but I don't know. It didn't sink in until I got older. And then I figured out what she meant, and she's right. As young women, we're programmed to think like that we have to have a boyfriend because everybody else got one. Or, the male attention is so fine and wonderful. And, having dudes calling you and having a boyfriend and then having a fiance and then having a husband. I mean, it's like we get put on this track where this is what we're expected to, our goals are set for us. These are goals, landmarks or whatever that we're supposed to achieve. My parents really didn't do that, but I still got that heard it from outside my house, from other people, like even my peers. So it's something that, you absorb those messages, whether you get them at home or not. That's what I would do different. And that's what I advise all young women to do. Don't be tripping about having no babies, and don't be tripping about having no boyfriend. Do you. Satisfy yourself. Go where you want to go and do every single thing that you wanted to do. Try everything you want to try. Just explore the planet. I mean, it's a huge world out there. Your little city and the little dudes in your neighborhood are like ants in comparison. Do not lock yourself down and keep yourself away from possible greatness in some places. Then if you meet somebody in some foreign country and he, Julio or, Mario or somebody, and you say, huh, this kind of nice. I might like this. And then you decide that vagabonded around enough and now you're ready to settle down. Well, then you do that. But give yourself the opportunity to explore everything that you want to explore before you do that. Because once you do that and start having kids and, have to answer to somebody and all that kind of stuff, unless he want to rip and run with you. Now that could work too. Could be the travel couple. But that's would be my suggestion, honey. I'm telling you. You see how I've been giving this some thought. Question number 6. This is a young lady in the 22 to 27 age group from Portsmouth in the UK. Portsmouth? I don't know how you pronounce it. My best friend recently met my boyfriend for the first time. We all went to a concert and got along really well. She said she liked him and it was nice, but she felt uncomfortable because he was very aggressively staring at her chest. She said multiple times and for an extended period of time. She has big and is used to this, but she said it was more aggressive than most people, and he did not try to hide it at all. She felt it was disrespectful to me and to her. I agree. I brought it up with him, and he admitted it right away. Oh my God. He said, but he was really high, and when he noticed himself staring, and tried to hold himself back, he couldn't. He said he wasn't attracted to her. It's just that they were really noticeable. I told him it's hurtful to know that my partner made my best friend that uncomfortable, and that if he could stare at my best friend like that right in front of me, it makes me worry about how he sees and looks at other women when I'm not around. He apologized and said he's just a guy and was really high and it wasn't a big deal, and asked, have you not checked anyone out? And I said, yes, I have, but I've never ogled someone in front of you or ogled someone to the point where they were uncomfortable, especially one of your best friends. We've only dated a few months, and I just feel gross about all this. What should I do? Fired. Fired. Because, I'm looking for the part where he apologized. That's not in here. where he calls your friend and apologizes to her for doing that and apologizes to you for disrespecting you too. I'm not seeing that. So to me, all he did was mansplain and make excuses and try to flip the responsibility for what he did on you, talking about, well, haven't you ever checked anyone out? What are you doing checking out my best friend? Did you not jam him up on that choice of language? I would have. Like, okay, I want you to check out of my life. How about you do that? You want to talk about checking out? Bye. That would have been me. First of all, you cannot have a man who does things that harass and make women uncomfortable, female people, over body parts that they cannot change. And then he makes an excuse about, well, it's no big deal. It is a big deal. If she's feeling like that, it's a big deal, you little asshole. I'm surprised you didn't like go off on him. You just, you underreacted to me. So I'm going to tell you this. This is the kind of thing like, so say you have a 13 or 14-year-old little cousin. He going to be staring at her too. What you going to do then? This guy is bad news. Get rid of him. He does not respect boundaries. He does not respect women. And he does not respect you. Get rid of him before something really bad happens. He goes around your family and does something inappropriate like that. And one of your uncles or your brothers or your daddy or somebody boxes him because he's putting his eyes somewhere he don't need to be putting them. It's a bad scene. Get rid of this guy. He doesn't have the moral fiber that you need to have him around your female friends and family members. He's already showed you who he is, and it's garbage. He's trash. A lot of when people would say, well, he didn't really mean this and that. And yes, he did. And like I said, the main thing is he dismissed it by saying it's no big deal. And he never did apologize, acknowledge that he was wrong. He made excuses. You don't want a guy like this around young females in your family. You don't want a guy around like this around your friends. You don't. Get rid of him. Question number 7. This is a male in the 22 to 27 age group. He says he's biracial from Tucson, Arizona. I hate dating games. The idea that you should wait 30 minutes and not text somebody back or whatever is so annoying. So to make things simpler, I just text back when I can. Since I do DoorDash full time for now, I have my phone on me a lot, and I hate notifications, probably OCD. So I can only stand to have them there for a maximum of about 10 minutes or so. So I text back pretty quick most times, usually in about 5 minutes. But from what I hear, that comes off as clingy. Why? We have our phones on us all the time these days, and texting someone back only takes a few seconds. Unless you're being bombarded with messages, you have plenty of time at some point in your day to, no matter what. Do I need to literally ignore women to not seem needy? Doing that just seems so shallow, and it makes me feel bad, especially if the other person responds in a similar time. Still, I have matched other people's responses times before with good conversation, and then they slowly fade out. But I don't feel like I'm being needy, and with girls we get along fine, so what give? Well, I'm going to say this. If I am not a texter, I don't like it when men text me all damn day. Call me on the phone. Let's have a conversation. Did you ever call them? Or did you only want to text them forever? As far as the games go, yes, immature, silly people like to play those games. You're obviously not a silly, immature person. So don't worry about it. You just continue doing what you're doing, and you will eventually come across a woman who understands where you're coming from and likes where you're coming from, and y'all will get along famously. These people are what I call trash taking itself out. Okay? So don't worry about them. They weren't really going to be around anyway, whether you responded fast or not. Okay? Just move on from that. But I do suggest that young men have more conversations on the phone or face to face and stop texting all the time. That's so impersonal. I know you young people like to do it. I know it's the thing. I know. But you're talking about building an emotional connection with someone, maintaining it, growing it, making it stronger. You're not going to do that through texting. Okay? You can't talk your good smack like that. That like, yo, when you put that bass in your voice and be like, hey girl, what you doing? You doing? I was thinking about you. You can't communicate that through a text. You got to be on the phone so she can hear that bass in your voice and be like, ooh. Women are very auditory, okay? Men, they say, are very visual. I know a lot of them are, but I know a lot of women who are visual and men and auditory too. So, it just depends. You got to know your person. But the majority of women are very auditory. We love deep, rich voices. We don't like loud, squeaky sounds. We don't want to hear baby screaming all the time. That's why we rush over there and make sure that we get that kid to shut up. Things like that. So you got to put that into perspective and think about, like I just said the other day, what's the fish need? The fish needs to be able to connect to you emotionally. It's not going to happen through text, so pick up the phone. Question number 8. This is a young lady in the 28 to 34 age group. She's African American and Aries from Brooklyn. And the male in question is a 35 to 41-year-old white guy, and he is a Leo. Hmm. Well, Aries and Leo, that's usually a fiery match. Hey, Auntie. I've been working in the entertainment field for about 2 years. I'm around a lot of high-profile celebrities. One in particular is in a PR relationship, so it's not a real relationship. I really love this celebrity man, not just for his movie roles, but for how kind and how hardworking he is. Do you have any advice for trying to date a celebrity? I am not a celebrity myself, but I do work as a background actor. By the way, he is always stalked by the paparazzi, and sometimes his fans are a bit obsessed and wait outside his home. Dang. I am more low key and just need some advice on how to deal with such a high profile man. I was thinking I might need to start with making my social media pages private. Any advice would be so appreciated. Well, that's it. So, what you asked me how you could get it, dude? Trying to date a celebrity. So that means you're not dating him yet. You're trying to date him. And you trying to do all of this before you. I'm confused. But anyway, the answer to your question is no. I don't deal with celebrities at all. I mean, I've known some, but I didn't want to date them because I'm not trying to live that lifestyle. I don't want to be anywhere in the public eye with you. I don't want women being mad at me. I already had this situation with a dude I was just dating, and he had an ex-girlfriend who was crazy. I can't imagine some women, looking at you all kind of crazy because you with him, and I can't do that. So I'm sorry. Unfortunately, we did put your letter in here, but I don't have no answers for you. Look in the chat though; some of them may have something for you. Um, this is outside my skill set. I can't tell you how you could get something going with a celebrity who might not want to be bothered. You're there for work. You know what I mean? It gets kind of interesting and kind of touchy. I don't think I'd do that. Question number 9, female in the 28 to 34 age group. She's white and she's from Swindon in the UK. I am 28 years old and I've started dating again a few weeks ago. But I'm always facing the same issue. It's going to sound silly, but I really have a hard time letting someone know that I don't want to see them anymore, especially if the guy seems nice. Oh God, there's that word. I usually let the conversation die after the first date, but I know it's a horrible, more hurtful way to manage the situation. It's one of my flaws. I don't know how to say no in general. You better learn. For instance, I went on a date yesterday. The guy was really sweet and kind of shy. He insisted on paying for my coffee, and we talked for about 2 hours. I don't think I'm attracted to him physically. I mean, there was no chemistry. Plus, I don't think our personalities will match in the long run, and I don't think I'm interested in him romantically. Okay, so you just don't want dude. You don't have to justify it to me. However, he seemed really genuinely kind. He suggested that he struggled in his love life, which made me empathize with him. He texted me yesterday saying, I look forward to seeing you again. And I froze up. I haven't replied yet, which must be really hurtful for him. But at the same time, I don't know what to say. How do you usually handle this situation? How should I do? The last guy I went on a date with was so self absorbed and insensitive that it was much easier to handle rejecting him. Thank you very much. Well, what you do is you send him a text back and you say, I really enjoyed meeting you. You seem like a great guy, but I just didn't really feel any chemistry before between us. You would be more in the friend zone. And I know that's not what you're looking for. I don't want to waste your time. So good luck on your search. That's how you kindly do it, with some empathy and understanding of the situation. You don't criticize him because he didn't really do anything wrong. It's not he's like a bad person. Like you say, he's a good guy. But he's just not the good guy for you. And that's what a lot of guys don't seem to understand. They feel like all women are the same. And if they have a job and they're polite and they do this kind of stuff, that they, that they get like a coupon to you or so. I don't know what they be thinking. It's very odd behavior. But that would be my suggestion. Just, send them that text back and say, oh, that would be great, but I'm going to be busy doing not that. But no, you don't want to say that, but that's what I would be doing. But I'm known to be a very rude person, so don't do it. Go with my first response. Okay, question number 9, female in, oops, I'm sorry, that's this one, I didn't put it back. Question number 10, female in the 22 to 27 age group. She's white and she's from Derby in the UK. I'm 24 and I finally decided to lose some of this weight and get in shape. I've been listening to you for a couple of years, and I know you were a trainer before, so I thought you'd be perfect for this question. I'll be going to the gym next week for the first time. What should I bring? I've never stepped foot in the gym, but after a year of home to office, I feel like I've gained a few kilos and I don't feel the best with my body. Recently, a few colleagues invited me to join their workout. A few of them are kind of new to fitness as well, so I gladly accepted the offer. However, as previously mentioned, I've never stepped foot in a gym and I have zero idea what I need to bring or expect. Obviously, some comfy shoes and clothes, but I see people going to the gym with giant bags. What do they have in there? Do I bring a towel, shampoo? Do people usually take showers in the gym after workout? Is there anything else that I'm missing? Please prepare me for the step. Okay, yeah, this is easy. Okay, I never take a shower at the gym. I think I did once and I just hated it. I had to because something was going on. I didn't have time to go back home. I go to the gym and leave enough time for me to go home, shower, and change at my house. Especially now that they have, the mixed use bathrooms where people claiming they're a woman and they in there ogling all the ladies. No, we're not doing that. So that's something else to consider. Um, Usually I would bring a small tote bag. In it, I would have my workout gloves, a bottle of water. Um, what is in there? Oh, I have like a cuff that I would use the cable machines for my ankle. It's my property, so I put it on so I could do like weighted leg lifts and all this kind of stuff. Um, and 2 towels. This is my standard stuff. And I have 2 towels because one I put on the equipment to sit on, and the other one is the one I wipe the sweat off my face and neck with. So you don't want to use the same towel for that. You want to have a separate towel, and then I bring a plastic bag too, and the towel that both of the towels go in there so they don't mess up and cootify my little tote bag. So you have either a wet section in your tote bag. Some bags are built that way, but for me, I just bring a plastic bag from the grocery store, dump the wet towels or dirty towels in there, tie it up, and then dump it straight into my washing machine with some bleach and hot water. That's what I would do. Now, those people that bring those giant bags, some of them have, clothes because they're going to change there and go to work. So they have to bring, all their cosmetics and their makeup and their clothes and underwear. I mean, they have everything. I never did that, so mine would be like a small tote bag, like the size of like a grocery bag, or actually even a little bit smaller. And that's what I put my stuff in. Oh, and a jump rope. I would have my leather jump rope in there too, because sometimes I like to jump rope between sets, just to keep my heart rate up. But yeah, that's about it. That's all I would have in mind. So like the 2 towels though, especially now, is key, and workout gloves. So your hands are not touching so much of the stuff. And use the sandy gel on your way out. So when you take your gloves off, use the gel and wipe your hands before you start touching your steering wheel and your keys and stuff. So other than that, you should be fine. You bring your own water, so you don't have to be trying to go buy any or use their water fountain or anything like that. Bring your own water. It's best if you have a water bottle, but if you don't want to invest in that right now, just, a disposable bottle of water and just drink that. You want to stay hydrated during your workout. Okay? That's what you bring. That's what you do. Question number 10. And if it's cold there, I forgot one thing too. If it's cold there, bring a sweatshirt. So you're going to be like damp when you leave. You don't want to get chilled. You could get sick. So put your sweatshirt on before you leave the gym. Okay? And keep It'll help keep your body warm, temperature warm. Question number 10, female, 22 to 27. Oh, no. God, why am I not putting my pages? I'm not switching my pages. Question 11, female, 22 to 27. She's white from South Shields in the UK. Never heard of that. I don't think we had a letter from this place. South Shields. I told a guy I've been dating for 2 months that I have feelings for him, and I was hoping to hear the same thing back. But instead, he told me everything that he hates about me. What? Oh, that's kind of messed up. I can't believe it, and I feel pretty insecure right now. We were having the exclusivity talk, even though we were both exclusive to each other. We just wanted to talk about what we wanted, expected. And I said I'd like to continue to get to know him better, and I have feelings for him. I would like a relationship in the future. Okay, you've been dating him for 2 months. Okay. His response was, yeah, I'd like a relationship with the right person. And I clearly must have seemed sad because he then chose to tell me I make no effort with my appearance, despite wearing fake tan, extensions, a full face of makeup that took an hour, and I take care of my nails and clean and manicure them regularly. And he wants somebody who makes an effort, and my personality is great, but I have no oomph in my appearance, he says. I got upset, and now he doesn't want to date me because I reacted badly, end quote, by asking him if he would like me to wear a ball gown to Netflix and chill. But he keeps texting me and asking if we can still talk, flirting with me and saying we can meet up, and even saying that we should be roommates as we want to live in the same area of the city. Hmm. My friends think he did it to knock my confidence down so I would chase him, but I feel hurt. My confidence is knocked and I'm too sad to date right now. I was blindsided by this behavior because I thought he was nice. Yeah, well, welcome to Idiotville. Um, you need to look at my videos here because I talk about why you do not let men get in your head like that. So see him, you expecting all this approval and validation and stuff from him. And like I said, the main thing is really, I mean, shit, even when you're married, there's a certain part you just can't get too deep with these dudes. So they have this thing where they want to give you compliments and gas you up and everything, so they can later pull the rug out from under you and see you all deflated. That's why it's very important for women to control their emotions. That's the name of the video. Control your emotions so that no matter what he says, you're the same because you validate yourself. So if he says you're great, grand, and wonderful, and you're the best thing since sliced bread, you're like, okay. And if he says, well, you never take care of yourself, and you don't do this, and you don't do that, and you blah blah blah, you be like, okay. And it's the same because you're not invested in what he says. What he says is garbage anyway. What's he saying it for? I mean, somebody saying you look nice today, would you know that you do? Well, that's one thing. But a male or a female can say that. Your mom can say that to you. You know what I mean? That's something really lightweight. But a lot of women are like, well, he gives me my self-esteem. They're very dependent upon his approval about everything they say and everything they do, the way they look, their body, everything. They want his buy-in on it. And I'm saying that's a very dangerous mentality to have because it sets you up to get the rug yanked out from under you. So I always advise women don't let them have that kind of emotional power over you. And now see, and he succeeded because now you're feeling all insecure. That's what he wanted, to put a crack in you so that when he came back later, he would be able to swing in there and pretty much do anything he wanted to and be able to break you down or build you up at will because he's already cracked you. Yeah, my suggestion is, he's still texting you. How is he able to text you? Why did you not block him like you're supposed to? Why did you not block him on social media like you're supposed to? Why did you not tell him, don't ever text me again, you slimy piece of shit? Why didn't you tell him something like that and then block him? You don't let him continue to harass you and interfere in your life. You being too nice. You need to tell him about himself. Tell him I wouldn't date you, and I'm not trying. I wouldn't live with you. Nothing. You trying to set me up to be your convenience to help you afford some rent. You can eat shit and die. You can live under the bridge with all the other trolls and hobos. I don't care what you do, but you're not gonna be. I'm not living with you. I don't even want to talk to you. Eat shit and die. Now, how about that? He's trash. But you do what I said and block him. And you stop. You don't need to be too sad to date. You just look at that video, Control Your Emotions is the title, and then you follow the instructions in that. Look at the new one on boundaries, and then you follow the instructions on that. And you learn how to speak up when people start saying some raggedy stuff to you. You're supposed to take your kid gloves off and rip him like you got a saw in your hand. That's what you're supposed to do to him. You don't let no man get away with talking to you like that. It's like, oh, is that what we doing? We talking about each other? Well, let me talk about you. And then you could proceed to read him because he's sitting up there thinking that the sun shines out of his butt or something. I don't know what he's thinking. You were supposed to just drag him just like he dragged you. Since that what we doing. Question number 12, male, 18 to 21. He's black and he's from Washington, D.C. The female in question is also 18 to 21. She's African American as well. My girlfriend wants to buy the much anticipated iPhone 14 Pro, but it would cost a lot in the making. I don't know what that's supposed to mean. How can I convince her to go for a cheaper option? Long story short, my girlfriend's old phone, she got an iPhone X, has seen better days because the battery drains quickly and she's been using it for 5 years now. Yeah, it's time. Back in like April, we planned to buy new iPhones in September as the much anticipated iPhone 14 series will drop in. The issue is that she wants the expensive Pro model. I don't have a problem with it, but I will receive $100 price hike and we are having $700 around in savings. I make $1,000 a month after a raise, an internship, and she makes around $700. Other than that, we have support from our parents, but at the end of the month, we can save $200 to $300. How should I convince her to go for the base model or buy the 13 Pro instead to save some money? She has been reckless with money most of her life. Her parents are rich enough to get her what she wants, but they will not give her money to get the new phone since she already bought a gaming PC worth $2,000 just a month ago. Okay, well, see, this is my big question. You ain't married, so what is all this we stuff about the money? You don't worry about what she spends and what she does, and just tell her, I'm not giving you any money for that phone. And if you can't pay your half of the bills and stuff around it, you will have to get out. That's what we gonna do. Cause I'm not. This is stupid. You don't. It's not like you balling like that. $700 a month. That's chump change. That's not even chump change level. I don't even know what that is. That's like welfare or something. I don't know what she's trying to do. But the main thing is you don't worry about what she got and what you got because what you got is yours and what she got is hers. And if she want to go broke buying a stupid $2,000 whatever amount it costs phone, then you let her do that. But just make sure she understands. I'm not covering your part of the rent. I'm not covering your half of the bill. So you better figure out how this is gonna happen. And don't you put no money towards her phone either. You're not married. You don't pay her bills. She don't pay yours. You don't invest in nothing together. Get your mind right, sir. All this weed stuff. You acting like y'all a married couple. She got parents, and if they wanted her, they give her some extra money, they will. Don't worry about what she bought and what she buys and stuff. You worry about yourself. And if you got your names on any accounts together, separate that shit right now. Tomorrow. Go to the bank and change it. And keep your money separate from hers. And don't be giving her your PIN number of your ATM card either. These single people just be doing the most, just be doing too much. You remember, she could pack her stuff and not be your girlfriend 10 minutes from now. And you doing too much. You basing like you guys are married. You're not. Question number 13, male, 22 to 27. He's black. He's a Cancer from Toledo, Ohio. I'm talking to a 21-year-old girl. She has a 1.5-year-old baby whose baby daddy passed away 2 years ago. I'm 22, but I feel like asking some people with more life experience in the way to go because I just don't know what to do here. Okay, y'all, this is y'all chime in too. Oops, let me switch over here so I can see the comments. Jim Doll made it. I see, and Leandra got everybody's in the house. All right, I see Robin, and okay, everybody up in here. Okay, so he doesn't have experience, don't know what to do. This girl and her ex knew each other for like 8 years before they got together, and she upped and moved to a different state to be with him. His family was rich and because of his dad, and she had an amazing life there. Sadly, he was an addict and died in his sleep from an overdose, and she had to move back here. A couple of years later, we met, and here we are. We've been talking for about 3 months, and I like her more than I've ever liked a girl before. So, a couple of years later. So, whose baby is that? It's not dude's baby. So, there's a second person here. Okay. We've been talking for about 3 months, and I like her more than I've liked any girl before. But I have an issue with comparing myself to my idea of her ex, and it makes me realize I can't give her what he gave her. I feel like I'm living his life in a way. She was his girl, and it's his daughter. How is it his daughter? But she left, and she was like pregnant and didn't know she was pregnant. I mean, what's going on here? The numbers aren't adding up, sir. And if his family is rich and they know that they have a grandchild, she wouldn't be wanting for anything. I'm not understanding what's happening here. She wouldn't need you to do anything because those grandparents will be doing it because that's their grandchild from their son who's no longer here. This don't even sound right. Something no. So we've been talking for about 3 months, and I like her more than I've liked a girl before. But I have an issue with comparing myself to my idea of her ex. Okay, I said that. She was his girl and it's his daughter, but she told me before he passed he was kind of physically and verbally abusive, and it was just a bad situation. She says she likes me a lot and she's happy and she's going out of her way to spend nights with me and to see me. But I know she has her past wounds from that which aren't healed, even though she plays it off like she's over it, and it's heavy. So what can I do to be the absolute best for her? Better than any guy. How can I make her feel at peace as a single mom in her situation? Side note, I live with my physically disabled mother and my grandma and grandpa. My life isn't together at all. Can I still be good enough to help her and her kid? How you gonna do that, sir? I don't mean to put you down because you're very young, okay? But do you even have a job? What you doing? Are you in school? What resources do you have that would be useful to her and this child? You don't even live on your own. You live with some old people and a disabled person. Okay, let me just say this. If you were my son and you came telling me this, I would tell you that this is a stupid decision. I mean, I know you like the girl and stuff, but you're not prepared for this. It's too much responsibility for a young man in your situation. The most y'all can do is have a good time on the mattress. Maybe take the baby to the park or something. You can get a chance to play baby daddy. But you looking at trying to make something serious happen here. You're not equipped for that. Just be honest with yourself. And then you sit up there focusing on some dead dude and what he did for her. Keep in mind, he didn't do it for her either. His family did. His family's the ones with the money. He was too busy chasing whatever he was chasing to put inside of his body, his nose, his arm, whatever he was doing. So I just don't think this is a good decision. This is not a good decision for you. But you asked my opinion, and that's it. Look in the chat and see what they have to say. Sure, they'll augment my statements and let you know what they think too. Your aunties, they over there cutting up. Yeah, you scared your dog. You need to stop. Puppy over there. Wait. Okay, well, let's move on to question number 50. We got 27 letters today for those of you who keep up with those kinds of things. Because Candace said she found some letters from 3 years ago. And so she put a couple of them in here. That's what got so many today. I'm like, oh my God. Okay, question number 14, female, 26 to 35. See, the the numbers used to be different in the olden days. No location provided. So I know this is an old letter. My boyfriend and I have been together for a year now. He is currently applying to PhD programs. I told him that I will not do long distance because I've done it in the past and do not wish to do it again. So if he goes to school a ways away, we will have to break up. He says he knows that and that he wants to apply anyway. Is our relationship over already if he wants to pursue these applications knowing it would be the end of our relationship? Well, obviously, since this was written 3 years ago, I'm sure he's already got his PhD at this point. But just for other people who may be facing this kind of situation, because This is the time of year when people start going off to their different college, university locations, and classes start like next week or after Labor Day or something. So, yes, once he said that, once he said, I know that, but I'm doing it anyway, it was over at that moment. That was it. It was done. You already said I don't do long distance relationships, and he said, I know that, but I'm doing it anyway. So there you go. You didn't even need to write this letter. This is one of them kind of like 10 IQ points things could have figured this out. Okay? That was it. That was his goodbye right there. The only one who didn't seem to get it is you. Question number 15. This is a female in the 46 to 55 age group. This is interesting to see how the letters are different now. No location provided, and she's in Arizona, but no other details provided. A friend I've had for over 25 years has gotten on my last nerve. I love that we've had a friendship, but for years I've always felt that she was smothering. She is married with a teenager, but doesn't seem the happiest person, but projects otherwise. When it comes to my personal life, she will always seem to envy my freedom and lifestyle and the men and even career choices. A year ago, my husband and I divorced. After divorce, we were still cordial. My friend happened to call me out of the blue on a particular day while sitting in my driveway. I wasn't at home and got quite aggravated that she was there. It was so random and intrusive. I got kind of snappy with her because I was obviously annoyed. Weeks later, she wouldn't let it go and went on and on about how I have never spoken to her in that tone. Fast forward a year later, which is a few days ago, she brought up the incident where she showed up at my house unannounced. She said she wanted to come cleaning. She told me that on that day she drove past my ex-husband's house to see if I was there the day she showed up at my house. My question is, how do I handle this? I feel violated and as if I were set up. My so-called friend shows up to my house knowing she saw my car at my ex's house, but was intending to, quote, catch me lying about my whereabouts. How should I handle this? Are you asking to fool me? She would have got smooth cussed TF out. First of all, where I go and what I do and who I'm doing it with is none of your business. You overstepping your bounds, chick. We're friends. You ain't nobody's mama and you ain't my jailer. And you don't need to ask me no questions about where I am and be searching around looking for me nowhere. Don't you ever show up at my house again. If I want to see you, I will invite you to my house. Until then, don't you come here. That's considered trespassing. Now, I know you like to think this, some people say, well, I could never say that to my friend. Probably not. But, my friends all know how I am, so we never had these kind of problems. And so we don't have to do this. They would never intrude on my life like this. This is just too much. She knows you was at your ex-husband's house and she going to be driving by and then coming and then calling you like she's some jealous lover trying to check up on your whereabouts. That's when she would have got cussed out. Yeah. Can you believe it? You know she is doing the absolute most. She would have heard all kind of stuff from me about her. She better not do any mess like that again. It's like you got one more time, and then this friendship is dissolved. It's one thing I'm not gonna tolerate is disrespect, and that's what this is. She's trying to run your life and trying to check up on you and double check your stories and stuff. Oh my God. Question number 16. Female in the 35 to 41 age group. She's African American. She's a Libra, and she's from Austin, Texas. My therapist always seems to bring up my child's father in every situation, and it's starting to bother me because I don't feel the need to talk about our relationship all the time. No, he's not perfect, and yes, there's some things about him that bother me, but she seems to genuinely dislike him because he was out of work for a while. Yes, he was unemployed for longer than he should have been, but there were valid reasons why he didn't look for work right after he got laid off. They were family issues. He just got a job, and that brought my stress level down. I told her about how I have been doing. Wait, what? About how I have doing the do dreams. Oh, okay. About crushes I've had in the past, and she suggested I cheat on him because we're not married. To me, that seems to be bad advice. We've been together for 6 years and have 2 children together. Why would I go out and cheat with some rando who I don't even have romantic feelings for? I guess I feel defensive because she keeps talking bad about my man. I am 35 and he's 41 and my therapist is in her early 40s, if that matters. That's extremely unprofessional. I would file a complaint with the state licensing agency of the inappropriateness of that comment. Because no matter, I personally agree with her though that, you ain't married, you single. However, if you have all these kids and you feel like you guys have some kind of commitment there, well, then you guys maybe set up some kind of rules about how y'all gonna run your little situation. And so doing that would be a violation of the rules. That's a possibility. You would know better than me. So you don't want to do that. But see what she's doing, that's inappropriate. That's wrong. It doesn't matter that you're not married. If you're in a relationship with this dude and it's a committed one and both of you all are involved in it, whether she agrees or not, like me, if I was a therapist, I would still never tell anybody that. I mean, if she asked me, well, do you think that, cheating, if you're not married, that there is such a thing? And I would have to say, no, I don't think that. But nobody asked me that. So I wouldn't say that. I would just advise her about her situation. But to just come out the box and tell somebody that they should cheat, wow. So yeah, do that. File a complaint with the state licensing agency, and then find yourself another therapist. Do that. Question number 17. This is a female in the 22 to 27 age group from Virginia. No other information supplied about her. Male, 28 to 34. Thank you, Candace, for choosing my letter. Thank you so much for all that you do, Deb. I've been watching you since freshman year of college, and now I'm working on my master's degree in engineering. You really have had a positive impact in my life. I dated a guy who ended up being a controlling and abusive narcissist. I'm 22 and he's 32. Oh, that's too old. We're both Africans. We dated for a year. I broke up with him 3 months ago. Deb, but I want you to know what happened and get your input. On paper, he looked like the perfect guy. He was well educated, had a great job, was a Christian, active in helping the community, had a good career, and he was financially stable. He's also family oriented and was looking to settle down and get married. These are all the things I was looking for in a man. Now, those are all things, but that's nothing about him as a person. Okay, let's move on. You wrote a damn novel. It started very well. At 3 months, I found out that he gave me an STD. Oh, and yet you stayed. He was gaslighting me, making me think that I was the one who gave it to him from my previous relationship, which is not true. But I forgave him since it was treatable and he apologized. I started taking birth control around that time. It was affecting my hormones. About him, he was an alcoholic. See, here we go. He would get drunk. He used to call me out of my name and mock me. He used to get emotionally and verbally abusive during these times. When I talked to him about it, he blamed it on the alcohol, saying that he was drunk, so it shouldn't count. My self-esteem and confidence was low. He was emotionally distant. I never saw his vulnerable side. He used to tell me that nothing was wrong with him and that I was the problem. I went to see a therapist so I could work on myself. I told my therapist what was going on, and she helped me realize I was dating a narc and that I was being emotionally and verbally abused. I have blocked and deleted his numbers, but he has still tried to reach out, begging me to at least still be friends with him, and I feel like he violated my boundaries. He has stopped trying to reach me finally once he realized I'm not coming back. I now feel free and relieved. I'm now trying to rebuild my confidence and self-love again. I'm planning on working on myself and building something for myself. Have you dealt with people who look good on paper, but behind closed doors they were a monster? Do you have any advice for me moving forward? Yes, I do. I read your list of all the things that you were looking for. And those are what I call socially approved things. Because there's like qualities that people have that we're looking for, and there's like personal things, right? Personal traits. There's socially approved things like education, job status, um, I don't know, power status, like, a well known person, famous in the neighborhood, city, or something, a politician or something, for example. And then there's, wait, what did I say? Physical traits that we're looking for. Certain height to weight proportion, maybe certain race, definitely certain gender, these kind of things. And so there's a three-pronged, this is just me now, this is from my head. There's a three-pronged approach to creating a quote list. And you got things on all of those. What you did was completely ignore the personal traits. You didn't say one personal trait. What is personal traits? Things like kind, honest, um, got my back. I don't know. Things, good communicator, same goals in life, or we can work together well, that kind of stuff. Those are the kind of things that are personal traits, which to me actually are the deal breakers, or it can make you more happy than the other things. Because sometimes people lose jobs, sometimes people get in accidents and they don't look the way that they did before that. They get cancer, all kind of stuff happens. But those personal intrinsic values and morals and personal traits are what keep you tied to the person and keep you in love and keep you loyal and keep you together. You did not mention not one personal trait on your list. And that's why it blew up in your face. Because you paid attention to all them social things and not to who he is as a man. So that's my suggestion to you, to sit down and think about what you need, emotionally, what you need mentally, what you need to feel confident and secure and loved and taken care of and supported in your relationship. What do you need him to, how is he going to talk to you? How is he going to treat you? Imagine all of those things and then make that your list. And then you go out and you find that. And I think you'll be much happier. Just keep in mind, it may not come in the visual package that you're used to or do you think you're going to get. Keep that in mind. Keep an open mind about the packaging. Okay? Pay more attention to what's on the inside of the gift than the gift wrap. That's my suggestion. Question number 18. This is a female in the 30 to 36 age group. No location provided. It's another oldie letter. Hi, Deb. Thank you and the team for all that you do. My question is about how to avoid guilt when dating multiple people at the same time. I have been online dating for the last couple of months, chatting to and meeting multiple men. I have recently gotten into a situation where there were two men that I like. One is super keen and has swooped into my life, treating me well and wanting to see me all the time. He seems like a very romantic soul. So super keen. Oh, okay. Oops, what am I doing here? Okay. I'm sorry, I touched something and you all went away. The other I was not interested in on a first meet, but after a second date, I found him cute, kind, intelligent, funny, and he listened to what I was saying. I told myself it would be good to avoid sleeping with either one of them so I can get to know them better without complicating things. Good move. Anyway, one thing led to another, and I slept with Mr. Super Keen last night. I've already agreed to meet Mr. Slow Burn on Saturday, but I feel guilty now that I have crossed the woohoo horizontal mamba line. I can't commit to Mr. Super Keen. I barely know him. We met about 2 weeks ago. Girlfriend, what was you doing? And I'm looking for the right man, so I can't risk committing until I know if they are really a good man. Mr. Slow Burn also has a lot of qualities I admire. My question is, how do you avoid feeling guilty in this kind of situation? When everything in society tells us that once you sleep with someone, you are in a relationship. What is the best way to have these kinds of conversations to make sure we are all on the same page? I feel nervous to even raise the topic. I'm 33, Super Keen is 31, and Slow Burn is 35. I personally would be going for Slow Burn. I suspect Mr. Super Keen is being a love bomber. Chances are, now that you slept with him, you probably won't. That's probably going to fizzle out. Just give it some time and let's see what he does. The problem is that now you slept with him, you done crossed that barrier, so now he's going to be expecting a repeat performance. How you going to deal with that? That's why you shouldn't have done that. Wherever you were, you should have left or you sent him home. You violated your own boundary. You did that to yourself. Now, as far as feeling guilty, why do you need to feel guilty? You're not committed to either one of them. What's wrong with you? What are you talking about? That doesn't even compute. You're not either one of them's girlfriend. And just because you got a little nook, that don't mean nothing. You didn't lay down with a relationship and you didn't get up with one. Okay? I don't know who told you that, but that's some BS. So if he comes up and he starts acting like he's got some kind of claim on you or something, you just tell him, oh, well, hold up, homeboy. Hold up. We're not a couple. We just had a good time. Just put this into perspective. Let's reframe this and make sure he understands what time it is. You ain't his woman, and you can do whatever you want to with anybody you please. He ain't your man. So you got to reiterate that so he understands the parameters around which he is in your life. He ain't there to be trying to run nothing. So just to square things up, though, go out with Mr. Slow Burn. And sleep with him and compare and see who's got the best stuff. Who does it the best? That's soon enough, but that's how I think. Like, well, I already done it now. Let me do with this other one and compare. See who does it the best. Then it's easy to make a decision because if one of them's hitting it and the other one's not, then it's like, oh, next. Well, she's probably not going to do that. Well, we're going to see. He might ghost her. It might not even be an issue because she did it. You know what I mean? She didn't say anything about what he's coming back saying. So this could be a wrap already. We'll have to wait and see. But that's what I would do if I were you. I'd be like, oh, Mr. Slowburn, come on over here. But he might not want to, but he's 35 years old. I think you're 33. I think the older guy is going to be a better match for you than the one who's younger. Mr. Super Keen. Let's see. Be patient, Grasshopper. Question number 19, male, 22 to 27. He says he's Latino and black. He's from Riverside, California. And the female he's writing about is 22 to 27, and she's white. Okay, so he's mixed with black and Latino. He's probably cute. For the past month, I have been seeing this girl who I met on Tinder. At first, everything was great. We enjoyed our time together. We have great woohoo chemistry, etc. But lately, she's been increasingly suffocating and needy, and quite frankly, it's been really irritating me. Let me give you some examples. She calls me at random times and expects to have an hour-long conversation, and then gets pouty when I don't pick up or have to cut the convo short because I'm busy. She'll invite me over at random times, and when I can't make it due to plans already or being busy with other things, she'll get super, and he put it in caps, passive aggressive, and blow up my phone asking me again and again if my plans have changed. Granted, usually she apologizes for being needy afterwards, but then we'll continue to repeat this. Ooh, I don't know what that was. And then we'll continue. Where did I leave off? To repeat this behavior. She went on vacation last week. I'm sorry, my allergies been killing me the last week or two. She got me a souvenir, which made me uncomfortable because I'm really not looking for a relationship at the moment. There are many more examples of this neediness, but these are just a couple off the top of my head. What should I do? When we were having a good time in bed a couple of days ago, she said in the middle of it that her, quote, thing belongs to me. And of course, I'm like, yeah, it does, because I thought we were just dirty talking. But after woo-hooing, she expanded on that by literally saying that she only wants this and that with me, and therefore expect the same on my side. I was hesitant and said, let's just take it slow and see where this goes. Good job. You should have said that first. To which she responded by being super passive aggressive again. I assured her that it was just a matter of time of me having a lot going on with my life, with trying to get into law school, applying for jobs, taking summer classes, and that a relationship would only complicate things. I wasn't ready for that. However, I think I screwed up because I said, quote, I'm not totally opposed to it. I just want to take it slow. Oh, you dummy. She seemed to understand, but is back at it again with the random calls and demands to see me at random times. Please give me advice with how to proceed going forward. I'll be happy to answer any questions you have, Candace. Oh, okay. Or to provide more details before you put this to Deb, because I understand that this may be not as clear as I think it is. I just need advice. Oh, it's clear. I understand everything. Unless she already asked you something and filled in the blanks. I don't know how that went. But I'm going to say it's clear to me. What's written here is very clear. Let's go over this, my young not player, so you can get you some game in Riverside, California. You down there in LA. Okay, first of all, something wrong with this girl. The main thing is that's why she's single and on Tinder, because something wrong with her. Okay. Then what you got to do this is how you got to do when you think about this in the future. You were too nice. When you have black, where's your black side at? You're supposed to come out the box on her and check her ass. You didn't do it. So what she's calling you at random times expecting to have a long conversation. You like, look, I don't have time for this. I got shit to do. Don't you have something to do with yourself? If not, you need to find something to do. I'm not gonna be sitting here jaw jacking with you all night. I'll call you when I get some time. Click. But instead, you want to stay there on the phone and let her build up this passive aggressive stuff. You should have been off the phone, so if she had a passive aggressive reaction, it wouldn't have been with you. She could have had it by herself. Okay, so then she invites you over at random times, and then you can't make it. You like, and she gets super passive aggressive, like, look, you do this shit again, and we through here, ma'am. I'm not gonna be playing these games with you. I just met you. You ain't my girl. I'm trying to get to know you, but so far that you got so much shit going on, it's a turn off. You keep it up, and this will be one of the last conversations we have. Click. See, that's how you got to take control. I'm not saying you be disrespectful and mean to her. I'm saying you put up some seriously firm boundaries. She's used to steamrolling dudes because y'all have better manners than you just got better manners. I mean, your parents raised you right to be polite and kind and all that stuff. But I'm telling you right now, you're dealing with somebody that you can't do that. You have to have two different, whatever your name is, just say your name is Ronald. I always want to call everybody Ronald. Say your name is Ronaldo. And you got to have two Ronaldos, okay? You're going to have the Ronaldo that your family and friends and your mother and your grandmother see. And then you're going to have the Ronaldo that's out there in the street dealing with these crazy hoes. You can't be the same with everybody, okay? That's the number one thing you have to realize is that as a single young man of color, you have to have some duality, okay? You have to. You can't get through life without it. There's a certain way that you got to roll out in the world, and then there's a way that you can be at home when you're around folks you're comfortable with. You cannot be the same way in all cases. Remember, this ain't our society. This is white folks' society that we living in. So let's just be real here. And so she got that attitude like she can command you around and tell you what to do, and you supposed to be at her beck and call. You got to check her. You got to check her. Okay, so then she asked me to call you again and again. You should then, you know what you do? You block her. You put her on block. Now you can always unblock her later, but you put her on block. And then later when you unblock her, then that's when you text her and say, I put you on block because you were disturbing my peace. I don't want you calling me all the time like that. I'm not your toy, bitch. You don't tell me what to do. I do what the hell I want to do because I'm a grown-ass man. You got to talk to her like that. She probably respects you more because right now it just seems like she's just used to bullying men and getting what she wants to. And then you made the fatal mistake of sleeping with her, you big dummy. She was already showing you all kinds of signs that was not the move to make. That was not the move to make. But of course, you being young and stupid, you let your little head write a check that your butt's gonna have to cash. You got yourself in some trouble. You should have never done that. This was not somebody that you should have slept with. You made a huge mistake. You know, every coochie you don't need to tap everyone just because it's throwing itself at you. You have to use discernment as a young man. See, this is the kind that'll say she's on birth control, the next thing you know, she's turning up pregnant, and your ass is trapped because you stupid. You don't even recognize when you're dealing with some kind of loony bin. You better listen to what I'm telling you and get your shit straight, sir. You just doing too much. Where's all the men around you? Don't they have no game to teach you nothing? You cannot be this naive and dealing down with these cows in LA. You just can't. You cannot be this naive. Get your shit together. You better start coming hard on her. And like I said, if she does the stuff after you warn her, that's fair. And she does it again after that, say, wouldn't I tell you that if you did it again, this was over? Don't call me no more. Something wrong with your ass, you crazy bitch. Blah, 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 blah. And then you block her permanently this time. Okay? Question number 20. I'm telling you, I knew I was a dude in my former life because I was just, this stuff comes too easy. I'm just too hard. But there's no way I'll be letting somebody, I don't even take this from dudes. Be trying to call you and want to be standing on the phone and breathing on the phone. It's, I got shit to do. Even if I don't have stuff to do, I don't want to do it with you on the phone. Get off my phone. And they want to be calling you. They want to like text you all day and stuff. I'm like, well, you didn't respond to my text because I'm busy. Well, you should respond. No, you should stop texting me. How about we do that? If you didn't text me all damn day, then you wouldn't have these expectations that somebody should be texting you back. I don't like texting. I told you that when we first met. So now you sitting up here sending me a zillion texts, and then you mad because you only, for every 500 texts you send, you get one response? I already told you I don't like it, and that's what I meant. So your best bet is to stop texting me, and then you wouldn't have that problem. I'm going to flip it around on them like they guys do us. Any problems you have, it's your own responsibility, sir. It's your own fault. Anyway, get yourself together, young man. Question number 20. Female in the 22 to 27 age group. She's white from Greensboro, North Carolina, and her boyfriend is 28 to 34, and he's black. Oh, this ought to be interesting. My boyfriend went to a bachelor party this past weekend. He came back last night and excitedly told me all about it. He told me about how some of his friends were hooking up with women and whatnot. Then my boyfriend made the comment, if I was single, I would have been too. I got upset immediately because that seems like such a bizarre comment to make to your girlfriend. He said he was joking, and I told him that's a joke he should share with his guy friends, not his woman. He got upset with me for overreacting. Am I overreacting? How would you have handled this, Deb? I would have said, well, you know what? You could call up over there and go back and pick up where you left off. That's what you could do. I don't want you to feel like you're missing out on anything. Because, see, to me, I don't know, when dudes say stuff like that, they're trying to shake your confidence. They want you to doubt yourself and feel bad and like, well, if he did that, what would be wrong with me? And why would he do something like that? So they're trying to get in your head. There would be no reason for him to tell you that. There's no reason in this world for him to say that to you. He's playing games. See, fortunately, as black women, we know this because we deal with this like from age 11 up. It's new to you, so you haven't run into this kind of stuff. But I'm gonna tell you, you dealing with a brother, you're gonna get these kind of mind games all the time. This is what they do. Okay, we talk about it here on the channel all the time. Most of the black women here date black men, and we are very familiar with this kind of BS. So yeah, that's what you would do. You would say, well, don't feel like you missed out. You can get all your little shit and go back on over there and fulfill your fantasies, home skillet. Because you know what? I'm not going to have you talking to me like that. Get the fuck out of my house. Get out. Don't call me anymore. I'm not tolerating this mess from you. We're not having this conversation. You're going to get your shit and you're going to get out. That's what you're going to do. And you can take yourself right on over there and be enjoying your friends and they party and have as much fun as you want to because now you are single. That's what Deborah would have done. I'm not going to take that stuff from no man ever in my life. Are we going to have this kind of stuff where you going to lob some crazy stuff at me and try to make me feel bad or doubt myself? The second something comes out of his mouth, he's out. He's out. After I blast him and blow his hair back first, then they come to toss him out. So you think about that. And you think about other stuff that he may have said to you that was designed to crack your confidence and make you feel bad and doubt yourself and doubt your relationship and feel insecure. Think about it, because I'm sure this isn't the first time. It's just the only one that, you felt heavy enough to write about. But you think about some of the stuff he said to you and how you felt. And then you will see that you are in a situation where you're being emotionally abused. This motherfucker right here. Oh, no. No. Trying to tell you, right, ladies? Am I lying? I only started hearing this stuff, man, when you be 12 years old, you start hearing this stuff. 11, 12, this is when they start. Older teenage boys start talking about, you hear your uncles and the games. I mean, my older brother, he was just He was terrible. I mean, he'd been married now to the same woman forever, but when he was in his young, high school and college days, he was just a total ugh, just nasty. I wonder how many STDs he had. I would never ask him though. But I'm just saying, he was busy. He was busy. My brothers are very handsome, handsome, educated, all this stuff. He worked out, he did kung fu and whatnot, lifted weights, so he had a nice body, smart, all that. So I'm like, okay. But yeah, he got all the women. It was just insane. But yeah, so many games. I just sit there like Sealy, sitting there watching, watching the games go down. So that's why I know this kind of stuff right here. You don't take this. They start this stuff, you get rid of them because this is just the beginning. Question number 21, female, 35 to 41, mixed race, from Oakland, California. Oh, a homegirl. I did what guys online always suggest that single women do and lowered my standards in the looks department to try to find a guy who's nicer. Let me tell you how that worked out. I have zero physical attraction to this guy whatsoever, and there is no desire to get busy. Yeah, that's always a problem. A sense of humor is really important to me, and he has none. His dad jokes are so lame, I spend most of our dates and texting conversations fake laughing at his really bad jokes. We have very little in common, and his hobbies and things are not something I would be interested in doing at all. Like magic cards, Pokemon Go. What? A guy in his 30s? I have spent money and precious little free time I have on dates with this person that I have zero chemistry with just because he is nice. Attraction to me has so much more to do with personality and sense of humor than it does with looks, and neither looks nor personality is there for me, even though he is nice. This is why I'm always baffled when the overwhelming suggestion to women on all the online forums and on YouTube is to, quote, compromise by finding a nice guy that may not be the most attractive to us. It turns out if I were to pursue a long-term relationship with this, quote, nice guy that I'm not attracted to, we would likely have a really lame woo-hoo life, and we would have nothing to talk about or do together because we don't have the same hobbies. So I did what these men in the manosphere suggested, and it's not working out well at all. So to have a nice guy, we have to settle for someone we are not attracted to and have nothing in common with? No. First of all, let's just rewind to the beginning of this. Why would you listen to those idiots? What? I don't understand. Like, women come here telling me what they said and who said what on one of these manosphere channels and stuff. Those guys are like such non-motherfucking factors in my life. I couldn't tell you not one of them's name. I don't know their channels. I don't listen to nothing but the garbage they talk. I don't know anything about them because they're non-factors in my reality and my existence. I refuse to have my brain polluted with that kind of garbage and trash talk. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to see it. Nothing. So when I get letters like this where women tell me that they listened and then actually did what them fools said, I'm just in complete shock. Let me strike my Sealy pose again. I'm just looking at you like, what's wrong with you? Why would you do that? Why would you listen to them? You get what you want. My thing is too many women that feel this need where they have to, lower their standards and stuff to get a man. Don't you ever do that. Just like you pointed out, if you're not, women need physical attraction. Dudes be mad, like, she won't sleep with me. She don't want nothing. When I try to touch her, she's jerking away from me and stuff like that. You know why? Because she's not attracted to you. You might be a nice guy, but she's not physically attracted to you. She doesn't want to get busy with you because she doesn't like you like that. And then they get mad, well, because I'm not a Chad. No, it's just you're not attractive to her. There's millions of other women out there on this planet. Go find somebody who's like who's attracted to you. This one's not. So don't get mad. Just go find somebody else. So for you, stop wasting your time. Tell them you met somebody else. Or so I don't know what you're gonna do, but basically, stop wasting your time, stop wasting your money, and stop wasting your energy and effort on a stuff that's gonna go nowhere. He's like, in the friend zone. That's probably where he would be. You guys would hang out as friends, but don't be trying to kiss me and hold my hand and thinking you're gonna get busy, sir. That ain't gonna happen. We're gonna be hiking buddies or something, jogging, workout buddies at the gym, something like that. But it's not that kind of relationship. And you need to be honest with him and tell him because he's getting his hopes up because you keep seeing him. So of course he's gonna think that, something's jumping off. Girl, magic tricks. No. That's what 12 and 14-year-old boys do to get the little girl's attention. That's not what grown men in their 30s do. Oh my God. Well, she don't know what his eggplant's life is like because she ain't gone there with him yet. And I would not suggest that. Man, you know how that would disaster that would be? He probably ain't had none since before baby Jesus came to earth. And so then it would be like giving a stray cat some milk. His ass would never go away. Woo! You would be stuck with him forever. Mm-mm. Pokemon Go. Who plays that? I used to read about that. That was like some dweeby, just reject dudes. I don't know. What's Silver Screen say? Yes, they're annoying. They are annoying. I can't do it. Anyway, let's move on. We got a bunch more to do. Question 22. Females 18 to 21 of mixed race from Plano, Texas. The male she's writing about is 42 to 49. He's white. And the female is 42 to 49 and she's black. Okay, so those must be her parents and she's mixed race. My parents, are divorced. My dad is white and my mom is black. I live primarily with my mom, but I see my dad a few times a month and at least one weekend. I think my dad tries to make up for that by spoiling me. I went on vacation with my mom, my friend, and her mom earlier this month. Before the trip, my dad bought me all kinds of clothes for my birthday, even though my birthday isn't until the end of August. He got me 2 dresses, 2 skirts, 2 tops, and 2 new bathing suits. A lot of it was kind of skimpy, beachy type clothing, and they were pretty expensive brands too. My question is, now that I'm back, do I need to wear these clothes around him? I feel weird wearing beachy clothes hanging around the house or whatever. I guess I could just show him pictures from the trip, but he has asked me about them a couple of times and I feel weird not wearing them. What do I do? Do I protect his feelings or do my own thing? You can show him pictures if you want to, but show him show him pictures of the most covered up ones. Okay? Tell him you had the swimsuit on under the dress or something like that. I would not show him the swimsuit pictures. I'm kind of bothered by this, to tell you the truth. It's kind of gotten an ick factor to me. I don't want to say that your dad is perving on you, but this just don't sound right. I've never heard of men doing this. They usually would give their young daughter, you in the 18 to 21 age group, if they wanted you to have some stuff, they would give you the money so you could go shopping and buy it yourself. And then the fact that he keeps bringing it up and wants to see you and stuff, then it has me thinking he's in the store fantasizing you looking in these skimpy clothes, and now he wants to see what it looked like. You see where I'm going with this? This doesn't sound savory. Don't bring those clothes when you go to visit him. You just bring regular stuff, and I just don't know what to tell you, but that would be what I would do. Yeah, this is her dad. This is her dad, and he bought her the stuff for her vacation. She said that. He bought her stuff for the trip that she took with her mom and her friend and her friend's mom. So it's 4 ladies. Her dad bought her outfits for the trip. It's giving me a kind of an icky feeling. I'm just not feeling this. And then you go to visit them, so you at the house by yourself. What you need to be walking around in skimpy clothes for at your daddy's house? No, 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 no. You're not going to do that. You're not going to do that. And if you have any doubts about doing that, bring this up to your mother and tell her what's going on so she could cuss him out. You got a black mama. She's not gonna go for this shit. She's not gonna go for this. So if you need some backup, you just draw her into the story and it'll all squelch itself. Yeah, this is something a little off. It just doesn't sound right for your age group and the clothing that he bought. I mean, most fathers are like, the daughter has on a bikini, go cover up and stuff. What are you doing? They don't want you to dress like that. They don't want you displaying yourself and stuff. But this one's encouraging it and actually buying you the clothes and want to see you in it. No. Your daddy is weird. You be careful going around him when you by yourself. Make sure you lock your bedroom door. Check your bathroom, the bathroom you use for cameras and stuff like that. Something about him. This is just giving me the willies. He just don't sound right. Okay, question number 23 is a male in the 28 to 34 age group. He's Latino from Santa Fe, New Mexico. The other day, a woman messaged me out of the blue on Facebook. I noticed she was interested in getting to know me, so I quickly invited her to meet because I don't like to waste time chatting. I had the expectation of making a new friend, but then she kissed me. It's like my Achilles heel when a woman takes initiative, so I kissed her back and we had a nice first date. A few days later, she invited me on a second date and immediately asked if she could sleep over at my place. Oh, which makes sense because we live kind of far from each other. I said, yes, of course she could. But here's the thing. I really want to spend time with her and cuddle her to sleep, but I don't want to have woo-woo, at least not so soon on the second date. But how can I say no? You fix your lips and you say no. What's wrong with you? Society often acts like men are robots ready to do woohoo whenever a girl is willing, and that's just especially true in the Latin American machismo and casual woohoo culture that we're both from. The last thing I'd want is for her to feel unwanted or unattractive. So how do I let her into my house but not have intimacy with her? How do I convince her it's me, not her? Why are you worried about all that? Look, dude, she coming to your spot. All you have to do is say, look, I decided to, let you come over here and you can definitely spend the night and stuff like that. But I want to let you know the rules under which this is going to happen. When you were quite forward and we kissed and stuff, and that was enjoyable, but that's where I draw the line. I don't want to go any further. I want to get to know you first. If that's a problem for you, then maybe you shouldn't come. We just continue dating outside the house with no overnights. Give me somewhere in the middle, so we both commute, drive there or something. I don't know what you want to say like that, but you tell her that before she comes. You don't spring it on her when she gets there. You tell her before she comes, and you leave it up to her if she wants to do that or not. And you can let her sleep in the bed, and you sleep on the couch. There's options here. You want to cuddle her and all that kind of stuff, but that's kind of risky. I wouldn't suggest that. You cuddle on the couch while you watch TV, and then you put her in the bed and you go to sleep on the couch. Or like I said, she may decide that she doesn't want to come because she's thinking that's going to solidify a relationship. A lot of these young girls do. They feel like if they do the nook, then what's on my shirt, I'll show you in a minute. They feel like if they do the nook, then they have a relationship. So you got to squash that in advance. This is a shirt. Wait, this microphone is in the way. It's a sister's shirt. I don't even remember where I got this. But yes, it's been in my drawer probably since last summer. I found it and I was like, oh, this is cute. It's my favorite color. When did I buy this? This is the first time I worn it. You see, it still got the marks on the shirt from being folded up. Yeah. He needs to put his brakes on right now before she gets to the house. Question number 24, female in the 22 to 27 age group from San Diego, California. I need to understand why a woman being direct is such a turnoff to men. The last 4 men that I made it past date 2 or 3 with ghosted me after I told them what type of relationship I was looking for. I didn't ask if they wanted to be in a relationship with me specifically, but it's not my intention to waste anyone's time, including mine. In the past, I've waited longer than that to have the conversation and had people stick around for 2 to 3 months instead of 2 to 3 dates. But things seem to crash and burn after that subject was brought up anyway. People say to be chill and wait longer before mentioning anything, but I'm not trying to end up in another situationship and get my heart broken. Why is being direct such a turnoff? I think, this. I have a video on here about this, asking us what you're looking for question. I don't think it's one that you should ask. My cousin's like you. She likes to ask, but see, there's two ways that's going to be taken. Either A, the guy is going to assume, since you're talking to him, that you ask him this question because you're interested in doing that with him, which would make sense. You ain't talking to the air, you talking to him. So for him to connect 1 and 1 and 2 means you is a logical conclusion to come to, right? Even though you say you didn't say it, but the fact that you're talking to him, obviously that's what you meant. And if you didn't explain that preface it by saying, I'm not saying I'm thinking about this with you, but my ultimate relationship goal is blah, 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 blah. But see, if you didn't put it that way, then of course they're going to think about that you're thinking thinking about them being in that role. The other way that this goes down, if you have a player, is whatever you say you're looking for, he wants that too. Oh yeah, that's exactly, we on the same page, baby. Oh, where you been all my life? That's wonderful. That's wonderful. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. And he gonna match everything that you say. He gonna want that exact same thing too. Oh yeah, it's on like Donkey Kong. And you know why they do it? Because it's like open sesame to the legs. And it's just like everything, because you think you have a future. And, you know, it's like does something to women to think that they have a committed relationship. They're much more giving. They let people move into their house. They help them pay bills. They help them come up. They don't make demands on him because they feel like it's a relationship. And Lord, don't let him propose and make you a fiance. You all lose your damn mind. You don't have no boundaries and no kind of expectations and no rules, nothing. Because the first thing out your mouth, oh my fiance, my fiance, my fiance. Yeah. So, you know, that question to me is a no-win situation. It just creates drama where there isn't a need to be any. You can find out the information that you need about where his head is without asking that stupid question. You ask stuff like they ask on job interviews. Well, where do you see yourself next year? What do you see your life like in 5 years or something? You know, some basic general shit that doesn't make it personal to you. You're asking him what he sees himself being. And then he can tell you where he sees himself being, and that's more likely to be an answer that's more truthful because it's not pressured and tainted with your expectations. If you ask him that question, where do you see yourself in, and he says, "Oh, I don't know," where do you see yourself in question? Then you don't fall for that. You say, "No, we're not going to play that game, sir. What we're going to do is what we're going to do is answer the question." If you don't want to answer the question, which is a very poor communication style, then that means that you're not interested in really being serious, in which case, thank you for the information and let me get up out of here. Okay? That's all you have to do. You can find out what you need to know in smooth Barbara Walters style ways. Did you know, I know it's a little old for most of y'all, but that woman was smooth with her interview style. She'd get information out of folks they didn't even know they was filling their guts. And she'd be like, yeah. Well, what about this? Well, hey, Joe, did you ever think about such and such? And she's steady getting in your head and pulling out all kinds of information and experiences. And people just laughing and just talking. That's how you need to be, my girls. Look at my video called The Man Behind the Mask. It gives you some ideas for how to do that. You don't go to checklist like you got a checklist like you going down the list of it, but it has to give you guidelines for general conversation to find out the things that you need to know about where a man stands morally, what his goals are for himself, what kind of relationship he's looking for, and how he feels about you. The Man Behind the Mask. Look for that one. That's the title of it. Question number 25. We got 25, 26, 27. Okay. Woo. Nearing the end. This is a young lady in the 26 to 29 age group from Flushing, New York. And then she put in parentheses, Queens. Good day, Deb. I'll make this as quick as possible. I'll also preface this by saying I know I am being immature, catty, perhaps passive aggressive, and every other name. I also expect a good cussing out by you and the Debsters. Let me have it, but please still give me a few good suggestions. I want to mess with my new supervisor. She is a C word. Sorry, but she is. Okay. Who has been on the job for almost 2 years, and she was promoted over a few women and two men with more experience, a stronger work ethic, and two other people also have more education than her. I am not one of the candidates. The previous supervisor was a decent and fair man who sadly passed away. We all believe this promotion is racially motivated. She is white, and the entire department and the department manager is white. We haven't had a non-white supervisor or manager for 30 plus years. So the other older people in the department state, wow, all white supervisors and managers in every department, this is a city job. We went to our union and they stated management can hire who they please if qualified. What does this nice, nasty thing where she's pleasant when the right people are watching and curt and dismissive when it's only her and the workers? She doesn't respond when we say good morning. Well, then stop saying good morning. What you saying good morning for to somebody who doesn't respond? That should happen one time. She is issuing disciplinary paperwork to people for doing the same thing she did when she was a worker. Do you have proof of that? That would be something to take to the union. But you got to have proof. Example, this woman was never in her full uniform, yet she wrote 2 people up for unpreparedness the first week of her promotion. She lost her badge on 2 occasions that we know of, yet she issued a warning memo alerting us that lost badges will lead to disciplinary actions. Is that a firm-wide policy, a citywide policy, or is this just something she came up with? You know, you can run that by your union and find out if she's just doing stuff arbitrarily. Okay? You don't have to take this. She's also a human paperweight who does nothing but sit at her desk. She's basically doing the same thing she did when she was a worker, absolutely nothing. Deb and team, I want to mess with her anonymously and directly and keep my job. We are already dealing with the union. We want to make her job as a supervisor as uncomfortable as she tries to make us. So far, we tried calling her by different names because she seems to forget our names or mix them up. I guess because we all look alike? Interesting. We find her annoyance quite satisfying. We need 10 different things to do to her, but will gladly accept LOL. Seriously, any help will be appreciated. Nope, I don't want to be the bigger person. Nope, I don't want to go high. I am not Michelle Obama. Deb and Dexter's, please help us out. Love you. Thanks. Okay, you know this letter is old. She probably don't even have that job no more. I don't know. Y'all can chime in on this. This. Do you guys have security cameras? Security cameras. What animal does she look like? You don't have security cameras, man. It's open season on her ass. But you got to do it in a way that's slick. Make sure that none of the managers see it. What animal she looks like? Starting putting them images on her desk. Say your twin. Something like that. As far as this other stuff, you say you're already working with the union, but have you pointed out these things? Have you given them evidence? You know, just complaining without evidence is not going to do anything. But the main thing I'm concerned about is if all these mandates that she's issuing are those written policies that impact every single employee, or is this something arbitrary that she's trying to do to you guys only? Because if that's the case, then you can definitely lob a racism charge against her, and it will stick. It will stick me if everybody in your unit is black and she's only doing it to the black people. So you got to do a little investigation work. Now they probably gonna come up with some more, more fun stuff. But I'm looking at, you need to lock her up legally. That's what I would do. I would watch her every move. I'd be photographing her every day. She wouldn't know it. She's sitting at her desk and photographing like you're watching the foreground, showing what time it is, and for her not doing nothing. And another hour passed by, but you're watching the foreground and her in the background, so you're the time show, and she's still sitting there. Like, well, what does she do all day? I took these pictures, and she was for 6 hours just sitting there playing on her computer. What is does management ever check what site she was on? Because they can do that, especially working on government property. They can go into your whole history and see what site you hit. And if she's on personal sites on company time when she should be doing work, that's a charge. So, you got to just start laying your traps. Don't fly off the handle yet. Start laying your traps and catch her in some good stuff that's going to get her fired. That's what I would do. You got to play the long game with somebody like this. Yeah, interesting. Question number 26. This is a female in the 22 to 27 age group. She's white and she's from Boulder, Colorado. The young man in question is same age group and he is white also. I'm 26 and engaged and currently living with my 28-year-old fiance. Oh, here we go with that fiance again. I love him, but I have certain feelings that I'm trying to process and I need your help with. We pay $1,850 in rent. Woo! He pays $1,000 and I pay $850. We each have cars, so he paused his insurance on his car to save costs, so we just use mine. This is more expensive, that's why we decided to park his. I pay for the insurance on my car. We split groceries and gas, and I do 95% of the household chores. I'm considered to be clean, and he's the opposite. So I find myself constantly cleaning, doing dishes, and cooking. He barely does anything, and if he does, he feels like he's done a lot because he actually has no idea of how much housework there is. We both work from home, and he sees me doing the cleaning all the time, but has never offered to help. Everything he does is because I've asked him, and it always involves me asking more than once. I suggest that he take care of the groceries 100% since I feel like I'm doing too much. He did that for a month, but now we're back to splitting. Why? All you had to do was say, no, that's your thing now. You're going to pay it. And then he refused to pay. What are you doing? I've talked to him over and over again, and all he manages to do is take out the garbage, which took many fights and conversations. I'm getting frustrated with the amount of housework I do all by myself while he watches soccer or plays FIFA. FIFA? I don't know what that is. If he was providing a bit more to the household, maybe I would feel better. But I don't feel provided for or taken care of. I've talked and even complained a lot to him, and I feel like I'm nagging him at this point, and he feels like I complain too much. I am resentful now, and I fear if we have children, I'm going to have to do 95% of the work again, which I don't think I can do. I'm honestly so frustrated. I don't know why he feels or sees that he does more than he actually does. I feel like even though she says I even still wash the car most times, and yet he feels like I complain too much. Am I missing something here? Well, of course he would have you wash the car since it's your car. But all you have to do is tell them you need to get your insurance going because you're gonna be back in your car. We're not gonna be putting all this wear and tear on my car. As soon as I have to get tune ups and replace my transmission and engine and tune up and new tires and stuff, you're gonna conveniently throw up your hands because it's not your car. So we're not gonna do that. You're gonna get your car back in operation and you're gonna pay your insurance, and it's not an hour thing. You're gonna pay it. As far as the groceries, the bottom line is you might be engaged to him and you in there playing house, but you see what kind of bum he is. You know you don't want this life. You see how he feels so entitled. It sounds like he moved from his mama taking care of him to you taking care of him like a mama. That's what it sounds like to me. He's never lived on his own and had to do all the housework by himself. So he, of course, has no clue because the women around him always did it. So my suggestion is that you tell him that you're going to be moving out, give him back his little funky ass ring, and then go somewhere where you don't have to be responsible for anybody but yourself. Get you a 1 bedroom little studio or something and just live your life. You're going to be sitting up here taking care of him like he's a child. And then he's going to have the nerve to complain when he's demanded to chip in his fair share. No. And you write about the kids. That will all be your work. You would be the one totally responsible for that. You'll be getting worn out and then still expected to contribute half financially too. So that's why I say when I have women who I see in this kind of situation, I talked about this the other day. What is this? Whatever day that was. Women who do this kind of stuff are stupid. So wake up, give him his fucking ring back, get your shit and pack up and leave. Let him figure it out. He's a grown man. Okay, don't you do nothing. Get out. Get out of the house, get away from this situation, and get away from him. Like I said, too many young girls, when you get that fiance term, you lose your damn minds. You don't put any restrictions on the dude. You don't make him do anything. You have no standards for performance, no boundaries. This happens every single time. It's you just fiance. I think dudes know that, and so they give you them shut up rings, and y'all just sit up there and start doing everything like you already married, and then be burnt out by the time you actually do. Give him that little funky ass ring back, and tell him that the marriage the life he's offering is not something that you want, and so we're not going to get married. Give him his shit back. Get out of there. The final letter of tonight. Ooh, this was long. Question number 27. A male in the 18 to 21 age group. He's African American. He's from Houston, Texas. Next week, I start university at your alma mater, Deb. I need to know if there's a trick to figuring out if the girl I'm approaching and ask her out for a date it already has a boyfriend, especially while I'm on campus. For example, say I see this girl at school and I want to ask her out, but how am I going to know if she's already taken? I have never dated before, so I have no idea about it. Is there a way to tell? What, like she going to have a sign on her head? I mean, you could look at her hand over here and see if she got like an engagement ring, I guess. That would be one thing. Or, some little promise ring or something. That might be a clue that you could see. But other than that, no, there's no way to tell them because you guys get ready to start school. When school starts next week, you gonna be probably next week, maybe the week after, I don't know. But just say it starts next week. So everybody's gonna be new on campus. You don't know when she just coming in, and she could have a boyfriend back at home and they decide to do long distance, and she gonna see him on the weekends or something like that. But there's no way to tell. It's not like people have a sign or they wear a special hairstyle or a special dot on their head that's orange that says boyfriend or a big B or something. We know you're not going to know that. The way to do that, though, is you see a young lady. The first thing you do is you don't ask her out. You just have a conversation. So preferably it'll be somebody in your class. You can sit next to her in the lecture hall. You sit next to her a couple of times. Hey, how you doing? This and that. Oh, what was that assignment? Wasn't that tough? Well, what did you do? You guys have a study group I could join? Something. Okay, conversation. Then you'll get to be around her, and you get to see go into a conversation. If she's always talking about, well, my boyfriend, well, then there's your answer. But if you say, oh, you know, I was thinking that I might want to take you out to lunch or something. Are you single and available? And she'll either say, oh, that sounds really nice, but I have a boyfriend. Okay, then she's not saying, say, oh, damn it, I'm too slow. Make a joke out of it. Don't try to make her feel bad. Don't make it awkward, okay? And if she says, no, I don't. I said, well, would you like to go out to lunch with me? I took a shower, I don't stink. My teeth are all intact. I still got my hair. Make some jokes about it. So she'll be like, okay, oh, he's funny. And then she'll be more likely to say yes. Right? Right? Show some personality. Don't just be walking around like a zombie, walking up to girls you don't know, ain't never talked to. She don't know you from a hole in the ground and asking her out. That would be a mistake. You're going to get rejected every time because she's not going to know anything about you. So that's why I'm telling you how you got to do it. You got to come in through the door on the side. You sit next to her. You sit around her. Let her see you. Ask questions. Talk to other people that's around her too. Then you include her in the conversation. Man, I need to get a class going so I could teach these dudes some game because they just don't have none. Just don't know nothing. It's really sad. But that's how you do, sir. You don't zero in on her. You go circle around her. Talk to the girl who sits next to her. Talk to her friends, and then include her gradually into the conversation. Oh, yeah, so what's up with you? What's your name? She'll reach over there, shake her hand, introduce yourself to everybody. Yeah. Where y'all come from? I live originally in such and such. I'm a long way from home. Are you? Conversation. Just have conversation. That's what's missing in a lot of dudes' time because they just don't, don't make the effort to really get to know a woman. You just want to zero in and try to get something. Somebody's leaving already? Well, dang. Okay. Yeah, I think that's a better tactic. So let me put this up here so y'all can see. If you want to submit a letter to What the Fuck Tuesday for next week, you have plenty of time to do it. You fill out the form. There's one form. You can get to it multiple ways. Up here at the top of the YouTube channel, there's like a little green button. You can click that. It says Get Advice. Down in the show description of this show and all the other What the Fuck Tuesdays, there's a link that will take you to the advice submission form. Or you can, if you're out on the web, you can navigate over to depsterism.com. That's the website set up for this show. And there's a button up at the top of the nav bar that says Get Advice. Click that. It all takes you to the same form, and you can fill it out and submit it. And then hopefully Candace will choose your letter. But she be funny style sometimes. She don't be picking people's letters for years and shit. I know she's going to beat me up for this one. She's going to beat me up. So in the meantime, hit the like button before you get up out of here. Share a link to this video or any other. It doesn't have to be this one. And subscribe to the channel. Our next show will be back. Let me see what date is it. We'll be back on Friday with what is called the Dusty News Network. It's our summer program where it's full of funny stuff. We drag people. That's essentially what we do. It's hilarious. So people submit all these funny things they find online. I put them together, and then we just go through them and drag people. It's the best Friday night. If you don't have a date, you can come on and have one with us. It's a good time. You will be very pleased and leave laughing and shaking your head at the dumbness that people post online showing their face. But anyway, I hope to see you on Friday. Like I said, please hit the subscription button to the channel and follow us. Hit the instant notification bell so you get notices and reminders so you don't forget and miss out on stuff. And I will see y'all on Friday night and then again next Tuesday, if not before. I'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.